Hi. So I'm back, and we're going to talk about the sacred feminine again. We're going to elaborate on that some more. So, two things I want to get into. One, I want to correct something I said because my ADD brain goes a little crazy when I talk. Modalities are not about gender. Modalities the in astrology are cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Okay, and what that is, it is the beginning of a season, the strong part of a season, and then the changing part of a season. So, cardinal energies of people are very strong. Okay, these are your stubborn people. So, if you're born in a cardinal season, in a cardinal month, you're going to be probably like more dominant. You're going to be more bullheaded. You're going to be more clear in your decisions and your choices, and it's going to be harder to change your mind about things. Um, Same thing with fixed, but you're going to be really stubborn. Fixed is fixed in nature. Cardinal is very strong. These are people who start things out. These are the beginning of the seasons. Aries is a cardinal sign. Aries are the people that start businesses. They start the zodiac. The real New Year's is going to be in Aries, the season of Aries. You got to remember they changed time on us, okay? The Jesuits. You got to look into the Jesuits. If you want to find truth, you must look into the Jesuits. They're basically the puppet masters behind everything. Pure evil. Pure evil. Okay, so, but that's another video. But there is proof out there that they definitely changed the calendar. You can look it up. The calendar's been changed many times for reasons, if you think about it. If magic is harnessing energies at certain times of the year and certain seasons, then if you don't know exactly what time it is, you can't really harness the perfect energy for that season. So if you think about it, when we're making our New Year's resolutions in January, that's the season of death. And then we wonder why so many of our New Year's resolutions fail. It's because we're not harnessing that energy in the correct season. If we do it in the beginning of Aries, we're in the Aries season where we are in a cardinal phase where we're getting ready to start, where we're getting ready to initiate, because cardinal is the initiators, then you're going to have more of an ability to harness that energy of success. Okay. Also, I didn't really get into, I don't think I got into like swords and why that's masculine. So swords, the Queen of Swords is the one of the masculine faces, just like the Queen of Wands of the queens, because she's cold and she's unfeeling. Swords is like the law, okay? And the law is justice, okay? And justice is always defined as a woman, because the sacred feminine is cold. The sacred feminine is the one that swings the sword. We do have a nurturing sense, but the sacred feminine is destruction. It's volatile. It's cold. Um, we're taught that the sense of the perfect woman is the nurturer and the one who lays down the receiver, which is true in a sense, but we also, in our great power, our destruction and volatility and changeability. So if you think about it, another essence of God is the elements. What do we wishes work with and worship? Elements, right? Elements are extremely volatile and extremely changeable. So that means what? That they're feminine in nature. Okay. So this is another, for me, it's another little tidbit that God is a woman, that the essence of God is female in nature. Okay. And everything, all of the elements can destroy the earth. And they also can lend to the creation of earth. And that's the thing that's why the sacred feminine is so powerful, because it has both abilities to create and destroy as well. The Creator God has feminine and masculine parts within them so they can create within themselves. She doesn't need something that is 100% male or masculine in nature to help her procreate. She has it within herself. And that's what makes it so powerful. And that is the meaning of the occult symbolism of the white lily. I think I've talked about that in one of my videos. There's so many of them, I can't go back to which one it is. But that is what the sacred occult symbolism of the white lily is, because the white lily has stamen inside itself. So it creates inside itself. It has both parts, okay? So there's a lot of secrets to uncover. The sexual nature of the sacred feminine, that is the more masculine side. And then the quiet receiving nature is the feminine side, okay? So everything has two sides. Even if I'm feminine, I have a masculine side, okay? And this is what is going to change the world, okay? Because a lot of us feel like we have a mission. A lot of us feel like we're here for a reason. And then we think about the daunting task of saving the world, okay? And it's not that deep. This is why I always say the universe is a funny motherfucker. Everything's a lot easier and a lot less complicated than we make it. So all we have to do is reconcile these two faces within ourselves, understand them, learn how to activate each one. Don't sit more in one or the other. Become gray, like the hermit. That's why the hermit is the highest elevation of the human spirit. So when we get to 9, which is the God number, which I'm going to get back to, because boy, did I come across some stuff. The reason why the hermit is number 9 is because if you look from the Fool to 9, that's the human experience, okay? Once we get finished with the human experience, it goes into the astral realms. You could see it into the cards, okay? And we also see it in the zodiac too. Maybe I'll do something breaking down the story of the zodiac and what everything means. So the hermit is perfectly balanced. It's in gray form, okay? And it's ruled by the sacred feminine. It's ruled by Virgo the Virgin, okay? Which is essentially Virgin Mary, okay? The virgin birth is present in so many God stories. There's many, many stories that are similar to Jesus, okay? We have to get out of this Jesus thing. Jesus was not real. Jesus is the story of the Son. You can go back and find endless gods that have this same story, okay? It's a story that has to be told because it's the story of the sun traveling through the zodiac, okay? Look at Mark Passio Astrotheology lecture. It's an hour long and it just makes it so simple, and you're going to be like, oh, okay. So another thing that you guys may have come across is the transgender agenda in media and the conspiracy theories and all that. And it is very real. Honestly, I don't want to get into it now because it is a really, really big topic and a big subject. But the reason why they're pushing the transgender agenda is because, like I said, God is inherently male and female on the inside, and they're mocking God. It's just a different way to mock God. It's a different way to get humans to mirror God in their sense, which is distorted. And not that there's anything wrong with transgender people. I support you, whatever life you want to live, whatever choice you want to make, that's up to you. But when it's pushed by the media, you have to question anything that's pushed by the media, okay? Any agenda that's pushed by the media. It's going to be something that's distorted and inverted and not of God, okay? Because we live in a very fucked up place. So, darkness, okay? Darkness is where birth begins. We pull souls from the void and bring them through darkness into the light. And once you bring a child through that portal, there's a death. There's a death of the old self. There's a death of the maiden. And all of the cycles of the woman, the maiden, the mother, the crone, are death. It's the maiden dying and coming into the mother. The mother dying, her abilities to procreate die, and she comes into the crone. You could say it's about birth and becoming something else as well. But because the sacred feminine is volatile in nature, everything is about death and change. So death and change is the nature of the sacred feminine, even though we are able to create life. Something to think about. And I think I was having this conversation with my boyfriend last night. It's been an age-old subject between men and women, why we don't understand each other. And the reason why we don't understand each other is because we don't understand these two sides within ourselves and the many faces and the many facets of these things. So our job is to change the world by changing ourselves. When you go into alchemy, you must, if you want to experience real magic, if you want to know truth, if you want to know what the rules are to this shit, you must study hermetics and alchemy. And in alchemy, you will see time and time again the examples of as above, so below. We have a world within us. So if you heal that world and integrate this duality, these two sides into each other, you're going to heal this world within yourselves. You are an energetic being. You are your own planet. You are your own solar system. And when other solar systems and planets come into your energetic field, they themselves experience this energetic frequency. And then what happens? Alchemy is the two things coming together and meshing, and the interaction between that, and the birth of what happens as a result of that interaction. That is alchemy. That's number 3. Okay, that's the Trinity. This is why 3 is such a magic number, okay? Because it's about the birth. You're also going to look at number 7, the Chariot, which is the golden child, which is the Christ child. It's masculine. He is masculine and feminine in nature. He is the perfect being. And he has a vehicle because he's moving now. He's moving different through the universe. The way that he moves through the universe has changed. So he is the Christ child. He is the product of the lover 6. The sacred and the sacred feminine and sacred masculine coming together. That's what the Chariot 7 is. It's all a continuation of each other. It's all a story. Learn this story. It's called The Path of the Fool. Also, you can look up Michael Tsarion. He's a great, amazing tarot teacher. Amazing esoteric tarot teacher. Michael Tsarion. Look him up. Learned a lot from him. Amazing. So if you want to learn these cards more in depth, their secret faces, look into these things. Take your time. Ask questions. Ponder. I also found when I really want to know the answer to something, I ask it out loud. And I'll either get a download or I'll see it out in the world. Sometimes weeks, sometimes months, but it will always come. So keep questioning. Keep getting answers. Keep journaling. Keep looking at these cards. They will open up to you, okay? Another thing is, if we're talking about becoming a professional in tarot, figure out what your purpose is, what you want to do. If you want to make money doing this, you can, but it's going to be on a very surface level if what you're trying to do is just make money or have it be a stream of income. Because these energies, they are very sentient. And I constantly get asked to do parties, and I'm like, I can't. I'm not a party chick, okay? Because when you do parties, it becomes a novelty, and people are laughing, and people, obviously, it's a party. People are there to have fun. This is not fun stuff. Okay. And if you do tarot the way that I do it, so I'm very, very intuitive. I do have psychic abilities. I do have premonitions. I do have feelings. I do have clairsentience. Notice I said clairsentience and not empath. Please throw that word, throw the whole fucking word out the door. I hate it. Okay. It's become very, very normalized and very mainstream, and anything that's normalized and mainstream is not for us. Okay. The word is clairsentient. Empath is a victim stance. It's a victim's response to narcissism. It's a trauma response. You are not a victim. You are a powerful being, and clairsentience is the most powerful of all the senses. It encompasses everything. So they took something that is the greatest power and minimalized it into a victim stance on narcissism and gave it a word empath and then just threw it out in mainstream. That is not what this is, okay? There are traumatized people who can read a room, and then there's clairsentience, okay? Two totally different things. Totally different things. So let's call a chicken or a duck or whatever the fuck you want to say. So going back to figuring out what your intentions are when you want to read tarot, I strongly deny and turn down tons of money to do parties because I feel like for instance, I had a very, very powerful reading the other day, and I wouldn't have been able to decipher all of this information if I was in a loud party setting. The number sequences, the astrological things that kept showing up, the months associated with the tarot, okay? So you can get times with the tarot, and I do cover this. This is with the deacons. You're going to get this in the book Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kenner. Do not be intimidated by astrology. If you get this book, it's going to make it very digestible. This is going to elevate your tarot readings, and it's also going to make you understand the 7 sciences more because they're all one. Once you dabble in one thing, you're going to become a little bit of a professional in all the 7 sacred sciences because it's all tied together. So there would be no way that I would have been able to give this amazing, accurate reading. I scared myself. This is how accurate this shit was. I did not know this woman. We did it old school. I had my boyfriend go and get the money from her in a different state because we have 2 states that are very close together, Philadelphia and Jersey. And he's across the bridge. So he went and got the money from her, and she doesn't have like Venmo or like the camera phone, none of that. I never saw this woman's face. I had no idea what her life was like. She was referred to by a friend, all of that. And it was scary accurate because I had the months down from the deacons on my cards, which symbolized the month that the person that she was trying to connect with passed away. There were ties with her brother and her mother being passed over. It was crazy. It was crazy. And like I said, I would never be able to get this amount of information in a party setting when people are laughing, drinking, not taking things seriously. Also, when I've done in-person readings on multiple occasions, I've had people make me very uncomfortable in their home. Not to where I didn't feel safe, but just like very uncomfortable. Like, all right, this is enough. I want to leave. Because some people are not going to be okay with what you have to say. And how they react to it, if they're in their own home, they're going to be comfortable. And you have to be professional. Okay, so I prefer to do mine over the phone. I prefer to have zero information. I prefer to be in my little happy place that's comfortable, that's quiet with all my books and all my resources. And that's how I do it. And I don't trust just my feeling. And this is actually a good example of the reconciliation of the masculine and the feminine. I didn't even realize this because I'm not just trusting the subjective side, which is my feelings, my intuition, okay? And that is the subjective side, pulling from the void, pulling from the magical realm. That is the feminine side, right? I want to be more logical with it. I want to be more right-brained as to left-brain, and I want to know the months and the numerology and all of the esoteric meanings of each card and the faces of each card. And then I put everything together and I marry them. And that's why I feel like my readings are so powerful. because I integrate both instead of just doing surface level readings and going with what I feel. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's how you want to read cards, go for it. But if you're very studious and you want to learn the different faces of the cards, I suggest using both sides of your brain, using your intuitive muscles, exercising your intuitive muscles, but also using these factual information that comes along with it, the numerology, the associations to astrology, the signs that are associated with, the houses that are associated with, and the times of the year. So you're going to get a lot more information that way. I hope that's helpful, and this is going to be a conversation that's ongoing because it's such a deep conversation. And again, if you guys have any comments or questions, please talk to me. I love talking about this stuff. It is my favorite thing. And maybe next time I'll do some stuff on the sacred masculine. Or if you guys have any suggestions on what you want to talk about or what you want to hear, let me know. I'm here for you guys. Have a great day.